What's happening with Pierre Poilievre today? Conservative leader at a news conference today, and he had some incredible things to say. Now, I'm the first one who has criticized Mr. Poilievre for being reticent at times to come out on hard social issues. He hasn't done that today. He has been forthright and honest, and I think it's very significant what he talked about. And the first thing is, what about putting biological men with women in change rooms, in prisons? Let's have a listen to what Mr. Poilievre said today.
Should be exclusively for females, not for biological males. You asked if I introduced legislation on that. A lot of the spaces you described are provincially and municipally controlled. So it is unclear what federal legislation would reach federal legislation would have to change them. But obviously, female sports, female change rooms, female bathrooms should be for females, not for biological males. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is massive. And it does take a bit of courage for the conservative leader, the opposition leader, to say this, because you know he's going to be attacked directly by Justin Trudeau, the prime minister, who just thinks this is horrible because this is not something Trudeau is going to support. And everybody who is caught up in this transgender obsession is going to be objecting to what Poilievre said today. But really, it's commonsensical. And the reporter who asked this question from Rebel News made the point that the Trudeau government has been waging a war on women. That it's not safe for women to be anywhere, even in prison, because they're being forced to be there with biological men. And this has been going on everywhere, at women's shelters, at gymnasiums, at change rooms. And Dave Menzies, who asked the question, has been covering a case in Southern Ontario where there's a 50-year-old biological male insisting upon changing with little girls at a pool, a municipal pool. Now, I think Poilievre is right in saying that there's not going to be blanket federal legislation that's going to be a cure-all, that's going to make this all go away. And I don't think he's copping out by any means by saying that. He's being honest. And he's being frank. This is not going to be easy to overcome. But the prime minister of this country needs to exercise moral leadership, which is something Justin Trudeau has never been able to do. He simply caves to identity politics. And he is always out there fighting for extremist positions. He's always out there against parents. These parents who don't want their children changing their clothes and undressing with a 50-year-old biological male in the room with them. So this was a massive announcement today from the leader of the official opposition. Good for him. Last week, he came out against puberty blockers for those under 17. Another case of coming out with a common sense position. He's always saying the Conservative Party is adopting common sense positions. I have been reluctant at times to accept that, but I agree with him here. And no, I'm not saying he's the only political leader saying that. I know Maxime Bernier, the leader of the People's Party of Canada, has said it earlier and he said it louder. And I give Maxime credit for that too. But Pierre Poilievre is more than likely going to be the next Prime Minister of Canada, and he needs to say these things too, and thank God he's doing it. Thank you for watching this episode of Stand on Guard and being a part of the KRAYDEN'S Right channel. If you've watched this episode to this point, you've watched it all, and that's really important for a small station like this. We always say subscribe, hit the bell, be a part of the KRAYDEN resistance. Resolve to resist. That's what we're doing. And if you become a subscriber, if you're a supporter of this station or a member through Substack, through YouTube, and now you can be a local as well, that's so important to us because I couldn't do this without you. I made a decision to become an independent journalist about a year ago because I wanted to bring all of my experience in the military, in journalism, to you. I don't promise anything I can't deliver. I don't offer clickbait. I offer truth. The truth is out there, and it's my job to bring that truth to light and to you. Thanks for being a part of the KRAYDEN'S Right Resistance, and we'll see you again soon.
So we are in a very precarious position in this country. We need a political change, but we also need the resolve to resist.
I did not call people who were unvaccinated names.
The Prime Minister lied and his minions continue to lie.
For everything you did, thank you to put your life on the line for us. You're one of the greatest women I ever met in my life.
I feel because you all will have implants. I can, and we measure your brain waves, and I can immediately tell you how the people react, or I can feel how the people react to your answers.
Oh, no, Mr. Bond. I expect you to be chipped.
I'm a liberal and a proud socialist, Mr. Speaker.
This is a Manchurian candidate. For people who don't understand the expression, I'm not talking about the movie. I'm referring to somebody who can be used as a useful idiot by another country to come out and spout these things off. He is a Marxist.
End your silence. Speak up. For God's sake, stop complying. Start rebelling. They're out to get you if you do not resist.
But mercy's sake alive, looks like we got us a convoy.
Canadian country singer Paul Brandt here. I've been listening with my wife and 2 kids, and we want to say thank you for all you're doing in defense of civil liberties and freedom.
I'll ask the question I posed to you at the start of my round. Will you apologize on behalf of the government for this outrageous invite?
And
stand by the invitation.
Of course, what I said in my initial.
You have no shame.
What? Oh my heavens!
There is nothing they fear like the crystal clear sound of someone somewhere telling the truth.
So it will be a world integrating the physical, biological, and the digital dimensions. So it will be a new world.
Stop giving them the benefit of the doubt. Because I can tell you, you cannot comply your way out of a tyranny.
When did you and your government start to become so afraid of your own citizens?
And now he's calling them domestic terrorists and wants to freeze their bank accounts. This has been absolutely outrageous. And everybody now is starting to agree that Justin Trudeau has lost this fight.
That's the press, baby. The press. And there's nothing you can do about it. Nothing.